All right, so Evan, who was your favorite player growing up?
Favorite player? Probably Clayton Kershaw. I loved watching him pitch on the mound, so cool dude to watch.
What's the best piece of advice you ever received?
Um, Probably just control what you can control.
If you weren't a baseball player, what would you be?
Probably a strength conditioning coach.
Who's a hitter you really want to face someday?
Mike Trout.
Which of your teammates would be the best babysitter?
I would probably have to go with Joey Matulovic.
What's a place you've always wanted to visit?
Yosemite National Park.
If you were a position player, what position would you play?
I'd either say left field or third base.
What's the best Halloween costume you ever had?
I had one of those inflatable blow up suits, and it was like a cowboy riding a horse. That was pretty sweet.
All right, so getting into the story, we're coming up on the end here of your first pro season. How does it compare to what you expected?
I mean, honestly, I had no idea what I was getting into. So, I mean, it's been a fun ride. That's all I could really say. I mean, it's a lot of baseball. Most baseball I've pretty much played all at once. So, I mean, it's been a lot being thrown at me. But, I mean, compared to the expectations coming in, it's like I think it's a little more than what I expected. But, I mean, I think I'm handling it pretty well. So.
Yeah, how are you holding up at this point at the end of a long season?
Yeah, I'm holding up well. I mean, body's holding up well. I mean, I think we're, again, just all the boys just grinding it out here now, just at the end of the season. So it's good.
This has to be kind of an even longer season because of 2020 and kind of the lack of baseball. What did you do during the shutdown?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much just trained back here at home, and I mean, I took it as well as I could take it, really. So I mean, not a whole lot of people around here where I live in Iowa, and I was thrown into a net majority of the off season. I actually had the chance to go to Kansas City and train with a buddy with the Astros. So I got to see some live ABs with him, but yeah, I mean, most of the off season I was here at home, just kind of thrown into a net, training at our local gym, and yeah, just kind of grinding out, trying to get a little bit better every single day. So.
You said two things there that caught my attention, and I want to come back to the other one, but who were you working out with? You said you had a friend from the Astros?
Yeah, his name's Jonathan Sprinkle. He's in their minor league system. So, again, we signed about the same time here with the 2020 COVID season. We signed free agents. So.
The other thing you mentioned is that you're at home this week. Are you staying at home during this road trip to Iowa?
Yeah, I'm actually in my room right now here, so just taking this interview call. So, yeah, I mean, we're like less than 40 minutes away from the Quad Cities, so it's, again, pretty much my neck of the woods, really.
What's it like being able to be back at home these couple of weeks?
I mean, it's good. It's good to see friends and family, and, I mean, again, it's been fun to just see them out at the ballpark, really, and, I mean, I'm glad I can get that opportunity for them to even come here and just watch me play a little. So it's cool. Then again, I mean, I grew up watching River Bandit games all the time. So, I mean, it's cool just to be here and play here now. So.
Do you feel like it gives you an advantage having kind of the home crowd, having folks there to see you?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I definitely noticed it in Cedar Rapids for sure. That one game. So the one game that I pitched on Thursday, it was like pretty bare crowd, and then I had some family up in the stands that were cheering. So, but yeah, I definitely think it's a bit of an advantage knowing that I've got some fans up there looking out for me. So it's a cool deal.
Now, all season long, you've been having a pretty good run out of the bullpen with the Timber Rattlers. What's the key to your success?
I think just keeping it simple, really. I mean, just trying to keep getting better a little bit every single day. I mean, just assessing every single outing, and again, just figuring out how can I get a little bit better each and every time I step on the mound. I think that's just been the key. Is just how can I get ready for the next day and be ready to go. So I think it's just been keeping it simple and just going day to day with it.
You've been a part of a bullpen where a lot of guys have been really good this year. What's the culture like with that group? Are you guys working together day to day to get better?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're all out every single day. Again, 6 days a week. With each other. So, I mean, we're around each other a lot. We bounce a lot of ideas off of each other. And again, yeah, like you said, there's a lot of good guys out of the bullpen that we've been working with. So it's been a really good culture. And yeah, I mean, we're all just between us and the coaches, we've been relaying a lot of information. It's been good.
You guys, especially out in the bullpen, spend a lot of time together. If someone were to drop in during a random conversation out there, what's the odds that you'd find you guys talking about baseball?
That's a good question. We've got a lot of random bullpen talks that go on. So I'd probably say it's a 25% chance if we were talking about baseball at the time, depending on the situation, obviously. But yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of random topics in the game. So, but it's a good time out there. We keep it light. But yeah, obviously when the situation's ready, then we're all dialed in and ready to go.
We've talked a little bit about how you're playing close to home where you grew up. Had you played on any of these fields before? In Cedar Rapids or Quad Cities, or I suppose even down in Peoria?
Yeah, I think I had maybe one showcase growing up where I was in the Colonel Stadium, and then I remember I went to a kids camp when I was really young, and I played on the Quad Cities field. But I hadn't been to Peoria's field, but again, that's pretty close to home as well. I think it's a couple hours away, but yeah, the Quad Cities is very familiar with, and then yeah, the Colonels as well, just kind of playing around in that area.
So obviously this year's going to be a big learning experience as you get into pro ball for the first time. You start facing pro hitters for the first time. What are some of the adjustments you've had to make this year?
I mean, we've had scouting reports, and I think that's been a big adjustment for me, is just knowing a little bit more about the hitter before you go into the game. That's been a pretty big adjustment for me, especially coming into Wisconsin. I didn't have anything like that before. So like when I was in Carolina, I didn't have any scouting reports. So that was pretty brand new to me, and took me a little bit of time to adjust to that. And but again, I think it's just been pitching to my strength. And again, really, I don't think facing the hitters has been the adjustment for me. It's just been how can I execute pitches well, and then it just kind of seems to go from there.
What's the biggest thing you're proud of this year?
I think just the ability to move on from outing to outing. I think that's been a big thing for me. I know I've gotten stuck up in the past and haven't been able to get past one outing, whether it be really good or really bad. I think just moving on outing to outing, not taking too much time to analyze or overanalyze the situation itself, but again, just taking it day to day and just moving on from there. I think that's been the biggest improvement that I can see for myself.
Thinking ahead to next spring, down in minor league camp, you're probably going to get questions from a few guys. What's it like to pitch at Wisconsin? What are you going to tell them?
I mean, it's a great atmosphere. I love Appleton. I mean, it's a great crowd. I mean, we've got a lot of really fun nights out there. I mean, different deals that they show. It's always fun. It's a very interesting time going to the ballpark and like, oh, what do we got tonight? So, I mean, I think the crowds there are great. I mean, it's just a lot of fun in Appleton. So I can speak very highly of it for sure.